What's up, family? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Back live again. The T and Henny Show. Hey, it's your man Disco Jackson. Thank you guys for joining us. Welcome back to the hottest show in the city. For right now, we're gonna be international in a minute, baby. We're going hard. We're gonna get there. I got with me the infamous, my main man, Coach Dirk.
That's
Coach
right.
D.
Welcome back. We back.
We back and we got the oh so lovely, oh so luscious, oh so sexy, Miss LA Lex.
Hey
What's up, love?
guys, how are you?
With the persistent lipstick on. Am I right?
Yep.
Hey, see, I pay attention, y'all. I pay attention. I
Yep.
got
Look at you.
I'm on
He done
point.
rewound the video from yesterday.
It don't matter how I got it. I got it. That's
You
all
got
that
on this
matters.
persistent lipstick. Yeah, that's what she wear. Okay.
Yeah, that persistent. I still call it
Hey,
pink.
whatever, as long as you remember, whatever you gotta do to remember it,
You see?
we good.
We good. We good. Damn it, it's still pink, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and get that tonight.
Okay.
Tonight's show, man. This is gonna be good. And I put some thought into this. We're supposed to do the
Mental health.
mental health one tonight, but I want to make sure I have a mental health professional on so they can answer questions, man. So people may have questions that we can't answer. So I'd rather have someone professional on. So we have that in the works. Hope we can bring that to you this week. But tonight, it's a topic dear and near to my heart, dear and near to Coach Dirk's heart.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys are gonna love it. It's this boom, men understanding us.
Why am I on here?
Tonight is our turn to speak, damn it. That's what it is.
Why am I on here?
Ever since the show started, it's been about y'all. It's been about the women. Y'all, you got to say what you want to say. You got to do what you want to do.
But
You got a chance to bash us. It's time for us to redeem ourselves.
I
And
mean,
guess
it's
what?
2-1. It's 2-1,
Don't worry
and I'm
about that.
holding it
It's
down.
more than that. It's more. Guess what? Because we have a special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We
Who could
dug
it be?
hard. We got
Oh,
him in.
Lord.
We grind hard. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the one you've been waiting for.
Oh, snap. Uh-oh. Who is
Here it
this?
come.
The
Who
one
is
and
this?
only boom, Mr. Brandon King.
Oh, my
Biscuit is
goodness.
in the house. We got him, y'all. We finally got him. We finally B. What's up,
Oh.
homie?
What's up, baby? How you doing?
Oh, my
It's
God.
showtime.
And look, look who he's sitting right next to. He's sitting to you next to you today, Lex.
That's
Oh,
perfect.
my gosh.
Hey.
Hi, Brandon.
How you doing? Good evening.
Oh, my goodness.
B, you ready to hold it down tonight?
Man, I'm ready.
All right, ladies. Where y'all
talking
at?
a lot of smack. Yeah, you're gonna need your cheerleading section
With
tonight.
Michelle, Nikki.
Yeah, you're gonna need
Where's
your whole cheerleading
Cornelia? I
section.
haven't seen her in a while.
Oh, she's under an alias name tonight. She's under
okay.
something else. I'm gonna find out what it is.
Okay.
But she's under her alias. But we ain't worried about her. We ain't worried about her.
Uh-oh.
We good. But let's go and let me put this back up here so y'all can see. Men, understanding us. The purpose of tonight's show is so you ladies can understand who we are, what we want, how we want it, how we feel. You know what I mean? Because men love too, damn it.
How y'all feel? Oh,
That's
God.
right. I can't even get started, huh?
I ain't gonna even do my little quote. Where that quote at? Where that
What
quote? There.
What?
I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna chill. Go
Nah,
ahead.
say what you gonna say.
Nah,
Say what you gonna say. Yes, Michelle, it is gonna be good. Brandon is gonna hold it down. He gonna hold his own. So what
Man,
is it?
I'm ready.
Lex, if you had one
What?
question for a man, what is it?
Why?
Why what?
Just why?
Why what? Why are we so sexy?
Why?
Why are we
Dot,
so
dot,
loving?
dot.
Why are we so
Why?
caring? What? Talk to me. What? Ah,
Why?
all right,
That's
okay.
it.
Why
Fill in
what?
the blanks.
Huh? All right.
Fill in the blanks.
Why? Why are we so caring? We're humble creatures, you know.
Are you gonna be truthful tonight? What does that? Why are we so caring? No.
Yes, we're
No.
caring individuals. We are. You know what I mean? Look at my man. His photo. He taking care of his a whole somebody else's kid.
Oh my gosh! So now you are repping Russell Wilson tonight. Oh, this about to be good. Okay, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna listen tonight. I'm gonna listen.
That's all you're gonna do is listen.
I'm gonna listen.
Okay.
L say why
Here
y'all
we go.
always.
Question number one.
Well, here we go.
Hell,
Why
I
y'all always
said
lying?
why-
What we lying about? What is it that we lie about? We don't lie. We ain't lying about nothing. What is it that we lying about? I would like to know that. But anyway, let me start with this. Then I'm gonna take it to Dirk. Then I'm gonna let Brandon say his thing. I'm going to speak on how loyal we are in a relationship, man. We are, because we hold it down, man. We go to work, you know, we come home. All we want is peace, bro. All we want is peace. That's all we want, man. We work hard every day. You know what I mean? Some of us, a lot of us, the majority of us, work hard every day. Got to deal with some bosses we don't like, coworkers we probably can't stand, and people, depending on our field, our profession, that just try us all day, every day. We don't want to come home to an argument. We don't want to come home to nonsense. You know what I mean? We don't want to come home to a dirty room, a dirty kitchen, man. Why can't we just come home to peace? That's all we want. If y'all
What's the question again? Remind me of the question again.
Man, look, if y'all was to give us some peace when we come home, it would be so much better. It would be so much easier for y'all. Y'all can get anything you wanted at that point.
Peace.
You could. Peace. That's all we want. We can't. It's hard for us to get peace out here. It is. I can take that somewhere else, but I'm not going to do that. Ain't no question. I'm just telling you. I'm speaking on it.
You're leading up the prerequisites. Okay.
Derek, anything you want to get off your chest?
I'm gonna let Brandon go, then I'm gonna bring up the rear.
All right, go ahead, Brandon.
Can you mind us of the question again? We got people joining in a lot. Team Lex is on.
Whatever, Michelle. Go ahead, B. Talk your talk.
All right. So, I mean, are we speaking on a specific question, or am I just
say whatever you want, brother? It's a free show tonight. Say whatever you want.
I mean, you know, speaking on
us, man. We represent
that's cool.
Tonight. Yeah,
that's cool. No problem. So the first thing was that you posted was a young lady who asked the question, why y'all always lying, right? So first of all, like, we have to, you know what I'm saying? You guys put us in a position where we can't tell you all the truth, because you ask any woman, right, on the first day of her cycle, you ask her, well, how do you want to be treated? And she says, well, treat me the same. Well, how you want me to treat you the same and you not the same? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the type of things that, you know, men have to navigate on a daily basis, you know, and you know, really, I mean, it's really on y'all. So, I mean, like I said, she asked, why do we have to lie? For survival. That's my piece.
Survival, baby. That's the only reason why we lie to y'all, man. We don't lie because we just run around here lying and shit. No, that's not the case. Survival. Survival of the fittest out here. What, Lex? Come on, man. My man just spoke the gospel over here. What?
Coach D, it's your turn. Bring us home, Coach. Bring us home, Coach.
Okay, so I hate to say this. What Brandon said isn't totally untrue. You gotta look at it like this, right?
Exactly. You better get your election. You better send out a page, a text page or something. Keep the line alive. There you go. Mark said it best.
And it's really about how we're wired, right? If we assume or perceive that there's going to be some kind of backlash for us telling you something, they like, oh, just tell the truth, and we decide to tell a lie, it's a perception of how you're going to react, either based on how you have reacted to something in the past, or maybe we assume you're going to be that way because that's what we've dealt with before, right? Is it fair? Who knows, right? It could be fair, could not be fair. But most men want to keep what they perceive as peace. So they're going to tell you whatever you need to hear so you can shut up, right? And once you shut up, then we can go about our business. If we came to you and gave you, not you, all of you, some of you, if we gave you the full spectrum of what is the truth, we perceive that maybe you might not be able to handle that. So sometimes,
because they can't,
we got to do.
Because they can't. Next, something you want to say before we move to the next subject?
Coach said it all.
Oh, did he? So you got nothing to say about that?
Coach said it all. Why, when you tell one lie, you got to tell another to cover up the first one?
No, you don't.
You got to tell another one to cover up the second and first one.
Make the first one a good one.
Going and going, and then I'm going to look at you and like, who is this person? Who is this fake person that has been lying to me the entire time about it and everything under the sun? Then I'm about to start questioning you. Babe, did you make that mortgage payment? Yeah, I did it.
I mean, you can say all that. So,
babe, no. When you lie, you what they say, if you lie, you steal or cheat.
Yeah.
No.
See,
no.
But my perspective is, Like it's a little bit deeper than that, right? Because you have to understand there's different categories of lie, right? So you're talking about, whether or not you can pay the mortgage or what have you, right? But straight up, right? If you went to Rainbow and bought a dress off the clearance rack, right? And you had, biscuits and sides hanging out like that, and you were looking like a two pit bulls fighting over a Christmas ham, right? And you spilling out the side, and then
Rainbow?
you ask me, well, do I look good in this dress? What position did you put me in?
A lie is a lie, whether it's small, big, miniature, white, black. A lie is a lie.
Trusting us ain't got nothing to do with that. Stop making us lie to you. How about that?
Oh, so we're making you lie to us.
He just told you that.
We're making no,
Well, babe.
Listening? How about looking this dress? Boo! I told you last week you need to lose a couple of pounds. Be honest with me. Be honest with me, because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Do you want honesty?
Babe,
really?
How was the sex last night? Who the sex up? You was off your game.
Do you really want honesty? I can't handle the honesty.
Yes.
You can't.
Whatever.
Absolutely not.
And see, just as a point of clarification, right? One would assume that if someone lies, just like people feel about people who cheat, they'll be like, well, it's premeditated, right? And what you have to understand is it's not like, I wouldn't sit here and be like, yeah, I'm pro lying because we have to lie, right? I think that's what the perception is like we got to do it, and we don't have a choice. It boils down to a lack of and I know somebody gonna come for me, but it comes from a lack of an ability to communicate effectively, right? Whether it's my inability or whether I feel like it's hard for me to talk to you. So I'm going to do whatever, unfortunately, selfishly, is going to make me the most comfortable. That's how the psychology around it works. I am in a quest for peace, right? By any means necessary. If I feel like that truth is going to be a backlash, I might hold that back. That's how the mentality works. Whether you believe it's right or wrong, it's what happens.
All right, you know what? We're gonna move past that real quick. Well, it's part of it. I want to get to. I was asked this question several times, so I'm gonna spit it right now. Why do men cheat? Men cheat. Well, everybody cheats. I mean, well, both sexes cheat. Women more than men, but men cheat because something's lacking at home. There it is. I mean, it is what it is. Something's lacking at home. Lexa, you paying attention?
I'm listening.
I feel like you
I'm listening. No, okay. I'm listening.
There's something lacking at home, man. We've probably brought it up 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and nothing has changed. So the emotional disconnect is there. So we just happen upon somebody else that provides that emotional connection and that vibe, and then next thing you know, bam,
Men cheat because they're lacking something at home. I could see that.
Okay.
I could see that. I don't disagree with that. But instead of cheating, why don't you just if you're lacking something at home, why don't you tell me?
I just said it's been said 7 or 8 different times and nothing.
But why don't you just tell me?
Because y'all can't handle.
Why go cheat?
Unfortunately, those are like the famous last words. It's like, why don't you tell me? And then as soon as they tell you, then it's like World War III.
Exactly. But it goes right back to the first.
It'll be better if you tell me.
But you can make me look like a damn fool when you say, I told you. All I can do is accept that as an adult and as a mature adult. All right, you're right. You did tell me.
That sounds real sweet, don't it?
But it's one thing,
At least you told me everything's fine.
When you tell me, all right, you lacking this at home, babe, I totally understand. It hurt my feelings, but I can't. That's your feelings. That's how you feel. Right. So how can we make this work? Or how can we work on this? What is wrong? That's conversation. We're conversing.
Okay.
Why go cheat? We're conversing. All right, because you don't want to. I told you, and I used to hear this all the time. Well, I didn't tell you that because I knew how you was going to act. No, you need to be worried about how I'm going to act when I find out that you lied. That's what you need to be worrying about. Now, that'll be a World War 3, 4, and 5.
When you find out I lied, for what? Why has it got to be all that? Just roll out.
But what I'm saying, it depends on, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. No,
Run
it
out.
doesn't matter what it is. If I find out that you lied to me, it's going to be a problem. So you rather handle the problem with, you rather handle you telling me and it's going to blow up and I'm going to feel a certain type of way, or you rather lie and wait for it to just go to 1,000,000, blow up into 1,000,001 pieces.
So when I told you 10 times that there's a problem at home and it wasn't changed, so the 11th time I'm wrong?
No, why? When if it hadn't changed after the second time, babe, I told you there was a problem at home and it
That's
has
how we
not
got to the
changed.
third.
Let's identify it.
Okay,
What
that's how
hasn't
we got to the
changed?
third.
Let's identify it. All right, babe, it's not working. We just need it. There, we need to just do whatever we need to do. Are we splitting up? What are we doing? Like, it shouldn't have to get to the third and fourth. It shouldn't even have to get to a lot.
Right. Absolutely. That's my point.
That is that's an excuse. That's an excuse.
And we
Don't
also
lie.
got to put into context too, even though, you know, some women will say every cheater has the same motive. There's different reasons why people cheat. Why men cheat. Since we're talking about men, there's different reasons why a man would cheat, but we sometimes put it in the same box because the end result may be the same as far as how you feel. But there's a multitude of reasons why someone cheat, and it's all not like some people, because there's assholes out here and they just live and breathe to do that,
You
right?
cheat. It ain't even gotta be about our relationship if you cheat. It ain't even gotta be about me on why you cheated. It ain't even about the relationship.
I think she cut me off.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I think
That's
she
okay.
did.
She
She jumped in and she didn't even know what my point was. But it's okay. Go ahead, Lexi. Go ahead and finish your point.
No, I'm sorry, coach. I need to listen. Because I don't like liars. So whether you're a man or a woman, I don't like liars.
I understand that. I'm not here to. I'm here to let you know that there's different reasons why, and if there's different reasons why, even though in cheating doesn't have to be sex, right? So now you can't fit everything in that same box, even though may assume, well, a cheat is a cheat. He sent the text message, same thing. I'm out. It ain't that simple sometimes, and sometimes it's the inability to communicate effectively because you don't have the tools. A lot of us just fall in love and we don't even know how to communicate. And when those issues happen, then you don't communicate it and you keep it in, right? And as men, most of us don't have the tools. We weren't shown the tools, so we hide it and we figure out ways to placate to make sure that the home doesn't feel, a certain way. We holding it in. And what I always talk about is when you hold that in, argument 1, argument 300, you then cease to become yourself. You are now the person who has to lie or dance around the confrontation just to try to keep the peace. When you leave the home, you're not that pressure cooker person that's holding the stuff in. You're the real person who you probably were when she met you, and the outside world gets to see the real you. I'm not saying it's cool to do that. I'm not saying it's cool to do that. I'm saying, and I'm not excusing it, I'm saying a lot of men don't know how to communicate. We make assumptions about you, or we've had some struggles with you, and we don't want to feel like that. So we like, you know what, we good. And I'm not going to tell you, and I'm going to sit on that. And unfortunately, it becomes something over time. And then someone will say, well, he was always a cheater. He probably was like that before I met him. Sometimes it grows. Sometimes it becomes something over time because you haven't released what you've been holding in because you don't know how. That's not putting pity on him. I'm saying it's human behavior. We, as men, we seek peace by any means necessary, even if it's self-imposed.
So if you're seeking peace, right? What if you don't have peace within yourself?
Okay.
It's not fair for you to say, I want peace, but you don't have peace within yourself.
Right. And so as human beings, most of us are jacked up and we still in marriages and relationships all day long. That's what happens.
Which is what I thought we were going to talk about is why we need to, sometimes you may need therapy. All right, Disco, you told me 5 times that whatever's working is not working. Whatever you said is not working is not working. So then I said, well, maybe we should go to counseling because maybe the way that we're communicating or conversing is not coming through for both parties. You don't understand what I'm saying. I don't understand what you're saying. Maybe if we get a neutral person in it to help us understand each other.
Yeah, in a perfect world that works, but most of us, we by the time we figure out we need that, it's fight number 400, and we ain't even trying to do that.
Well, I ain't fighting all the time. I'm not. If I have to fight you in my relationship, we just don't work. So I'm not fighting you. We not gonna get to argument 500 over the same thing. Shit,
Oh, you
over
gonna fight? You know why?
we
You
ain't
know
gonna
why
get
you gonna fight, Lexi? Because you gonna
Why?
call your man. You gonna say he a little bitch.
I said,
You
why you
emasculate that man.
You gonna say it in a nice way though.
Hey, Brandon,
I
what's your
mean-
thoughts, man? We love to have your input on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it. I mean, there's a couple different reasons, and it's really, looking at Jackson's point from before. That's part of it, but I'll start with the beginning. When you get into a relationship, men are happiest when they get into a relationship, and the things that made him fall in love or fall in interest, fall in lust with her, when those things stay the same, right? So, it gets to a point where you're on the couch and he doesn't want to see The Masked Singer with you. He doesn't want to watch, Love and Hip Hop with you. Like, I mean, the type of things that interested him to begin with aren't things that are continued on. So basically, in that regard, in terms of like regular relationships, men cheat for the same reason women do, which is the person that they're cheating with is currently more interesting than the person that they're with right now. Now, extending it further on to relationships, right? It's to marriage, right? Men set up a financial home base. Okay, 80. It's just a fact. 80% of marriages, when they break up, the woman gets some type of award, whether it's alimony, whether it's child support, whatever you want to call it. The man comes out financially less whole than before he started, during it, afterwards, right? So
Pause right there, Brandon. Pause.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna segue right into this next one. Then, right with
All
that. Why don't men want to get married anymore?
Holy,
That's exactly
there's no financial benefit.
none.
So
There it is, point blank, done.
So it's when you think about it, what do women say, right? They get all the talking points. They hit the I want to be a power couple. I want to be like Beyonce and Jay-Z. I want to be like Russell and Sierra. Blah 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 blah. Right? Okay. Well, if you want to look at business is right. 53% of marriages end in divorce. Right? So if 80% of that 53%, right, end up losing money as a result of it, what fool would fully leverage themselves from a financial standpoint ahead of time in order to get married? You would have to overlook all of those statistics and make an emotional choice to do that. But so statistically, just looking at it straight up, there is no benefit for a man. Thank you.
So why don't we fight as a couple to not be part of the statistics?
that's what I did.
Okay, but that
And I'm good,
requires
right?
you.
Because at the end of the day, right, it don't make sense to own a small business either, statistically.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
So
It's
why
dumb
be
as
a
hell to
part?
do, right?
So why be part of the statistics?
But you're going to take a risk if you want to own your own business because you're not like them.
Mic drop.
I ain't no
Okay.
damn mic
Mic
drop
drop.
because there's
Definitely not a mic drop. Definitely not a mic drop. See,
I'm not-
what
Of course you would say that.
you're talking about it, Lex. You're talking about it from a perspective of, okay, when
Statistics.
this man makes this foolish decision to get married, well, how come we won't become a statistic? Of course, you can say that because as a woman, statistically, you have little to lose from it, right? So looking at it from a man, like, of course, you would say that to him. He has to be stupid enough to get into that situation. So.
But if you all are thinking like this, then why are people getting married? No one would ever get married.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Get married.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So you're saying the world should all just be like living in sin in the sense of not making an honest woman out of an honest woman by marrying her? Like I don't understand this.
I'm with you. Okay, so first of all, let's okay, so there's nothing honest about a woman that you take a woman, right? It's the example I always use, right? It's like there's one of my issues with society is that they sort of make women to be more pure than they are, right? And then so a woman will get run through, right, on the whole Chicago Bears team bus, right, on a Saturday. Wake up on Sunday, right? Have a dude match with her on Tinder, right? Call the dude and with no conscience say, well, you're gonna have to wine and dine me for 90 days before I do anything with you. You know what I'm saying? And then, so he finds out later, right? And then people say, oh, you're gonna judge her on her past. What about you right now? You see what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about living in sin. Like, everybody's living in sin. I don't have to make a stupid financial decision to make you an honest woman. That's not my obligation.
So again, you want me to be you because statistically we have all these numbers, divorce rates going up, the financial gain that the women get. You're going to be part of the MG ABCDEFG crew, the MGTOW, whatever it's called.
Okay, so you're the one who said that I'm a part of it. I never said that.
No, I'm asking.
Right?
I mean, that's what they do, right? Isn't that what they stand for?
So, okay, so when you're talking about MGTOW, which is men going their own way, right? Mm-hmm. Their goal as a philosophy is to separate themselves away from, what society says they're supposed to do. Basically, looking at it from the perspective that their own personal sovereignty from an emotional, financial standpoint is more important than getting into a marriage that's dictated by what society says, right? And that's kind of interesting, right? Because you said, well, why don't you, is that you brought up this philosophy, right? To sort of like shame indirectly what I was saying. And that's one of the things that ends up being really frustrating for a lot of guys that are opting out, right? Opting out of the system because they feel that when they bring up statistics, like I just brought up the statistics, right? I can show you that 53% of people get divorced, right? You look at LA County, right? LA County right now, Los Angeles, 70% divorce rate, right? So my thing is someone who gets married in LA is even stupider than anyone else, but people still do it anyway. But then when I question it, right? When other men question it and say, hey, wait a minute, like what's in it for me? Like yesterday, right? It was Michelle Ford, I think, that was speaking to Disco, right? He asked her directly, what was the benefit of marriage, right? She said, I don't know what the benefit of marriage is to you. No, like she couldn't even answer a simple question, and that's what I'm saying. Like men look at all these things and say, you know what? I'm all right. Instead of getting married and tying up my finances, I'll just go fishing.
So
I'll
in a perfect world, what's a perfect world for a man? What's a perfect world for a man?
Nope. Let me correct you, Lexi. What's a perfect world for Brandon?
Okay. So
because you ain't in it. Don't speak for me. Don't speak for me.
All right. So, like I said, I'm not trying to set up nobody to, be on the couch or nothing. So,
I knew that was coming.
So, come on, man. Come on, So,
let me get my Kanye on, and I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead and get it in.
All right. So, in a perfect world, right? When people get into, okay, so let's take a step back and look at what's going on, right? So, women have increasingly made gains, right, from a financial standpoint, right? When the divorce laws were made, right, the divorce laws were first made in the early 20s to make sure that men didn't just walk away from their households, right, and leave women to be like on the public welfare dole, right? That's why they were originally created, okay? You have the percentage of women that are graduating from college is now 60% female to 40% male, right? So my question is, right, whether you were a stay-at-home mom or not, right, regardless of your situation, why do I still have to get half taken from me because of your situation, right? Or because the situation didn't work out. And also, let's look at the moral hazard of the fact that, when you get into a marriage, right? So this is the thing, right? When you're looking at a community property state, right? So say you're in California, right? and you make $1 million, or you have $1 million in the bank, right? If your wife cheats on you with the Comcast man over there, right, and then you leave her, you still have to give half. You see what I'm saying? So a perfect world to me, it's not fair, but it is what it is. And there, so like I said, from think about it from that point, right? If you're a dude, you've done well for yourself, right? She has no incentive, right, to treat you any way other than to what would end up in divorce immediately, right? So a perfect world to me would be one where, from a marriage standpoint, those types of things were taken care of. So I don't have to worry about losing my shirt just because you want to be a thought.
Okay, because I'm a little ADHD, so I still feel like I just want to know what's your. So you're saying your perfect world? I don't even understand what your perfect world is, because you're saying that you came up with if the Comcast, if I cheated on the Comcast man, and of course you may not get anything, or I may get it all, because although I cheated, it's just set up that way. I need to go to a comment.
Wait,
Michael Smith.
Which one?
My man.
The question was
Mike.
asked brother. To you because you seem to be of the belief that marriage is beneficial to a man. He asked you to support that statement. You failed to do so in your response. Maybe he's talking about Michelle, about that statement of the benefits, but he also went to another question and asks, who hurt you? Is just a shaming tactic y'all use to deflect from the facts. Your feelings aren't facts, but statistics are. So, Michael, I don't know if you're in a relationship. I don't know if you're even human. We don't know who you are. However, you cannot throw my feelings to the side because you feel like it's not your fact. If I tell you that you're cheating hurt me and put a strain on our relationship or made me feel a certain type of way, that is my factual feelings. It don't have nothing to do with statistics. So it goes back to conversing, Michael. If you hurt me, I'm going to tell you you hurt me. If you didn't do something as a duty, as a husband or a boyfriend, I am going to tell you how it made me feel. That's my fact. You may not like my fact. It has nothing to do with statistics, which leads me to say, why do we always have to list? Don't make your decision on statistics, because if you do, you're going to end up lonely. You're going to end up sad. You're going to end up like a Michael Smith asking all of these questions and not like bringing it in. Okay, I'm done. You can put me on mute.
Hey, nah, you good. Hey, we're gonna let's switch these gears up real quick.
Let me make one point.
Go ahead, D.
So, like for me, right? Because I'm the only married one up here, but the way I'm built, I look at myself as exceptional, right? So when I may not make perfect decisions, but statistically, I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm the exception to the rule. If I follow what everybody else is doing, I'd be miserable as hell, right? As a black man, statistically, the odds are against me. But because I believe I'm exceptional, I'm going to do what I got to do to get what I want to get. Whether that's a job, whether that's finding, someone that I'm going to be in a long-term relationship and marry one day, right? I don't give a damn about JoJo and his mama got her ass beat. I got to make sure that I'm good when I'm decisions I'm making in the life I want to lead. If somebody decides that they are anti-marriage, go do you. But there's no judgment against my decisions if I feel like I want to be the exception to the statistic. Because people out here playing lottery tickets every day. Statistically, that's not in your favor, but you keep doing it. Why? Because you feel like you got a chance, right? And sometimes people win, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how I roll. I'm the exception every day. And I rock with my wife every day like the exception. And we make decisions based on that. So that's all I'm going to say.
All right. Let me
Hey, we got a new quote. Fuck your statistics.
So, but see,
woo! Hey,
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why we keep going back in a circle, right? Women want to say, okay, my feelings are valid, right? Which is code for my feelings are everything. You can't make decisions based off of your feelings. You have to make decisions based off of, and Derek brought up a good point, right? He said that many small businesses aren't ultimately successful, right? But the thing that makes them worth trying is the fact that you factor in statistics, you factor in financial figures to make your decision. You don't say, oh, well, you know what? I'll take out this $500,000 loan because I feel good about it today. It doesn't work like that. So that's my view.
But the overall statistic is most small businesses fail, though, right? So if you take that statistics, why even try?
Derek, when you make a decision, do you say when you and your wife talk, do y'all go look up the statistics and make a decision there?
Hell no. Hell no. I feel like I'm intelligent enough. Like I said, every decision isn't we all done been. It's not like I chose one relationship and I was 18 and I'm with that person for the next 90 years. I'm saying we don't make perfect decisions, but if you don't try, you'll never get. It's just like a small business. You can quantify the amount that you put towards the business and maybe it won't work. But overall, most small businesses fail. Most marriages fail. Either you're going to try or you're not.
But I believe you when starting a small business, because I've started several of them, you do a whole lot more research, man. You do a whole lot more research and weigh a lot more odds and calculate a lot more things.
No. We talking about statistics, right?
Okay.
Statistically, most small businesses fail, right?
Okay. Right?
To Brandon's point, why go do something when the statistics aren't in your favor? It's not in your favor to start a small business. So why did you do it? Because you felt like you could succeed, possibly, right? You tried it. That's it. That's all it is. No relationship is perfect. But if you don't try, you ain't gonna. If you feel like I'm gonna just be by myself, then do that. But if you feel like you want to try something, then you take the initiative and you take that gamble and you try it.
Okay,
it's that simple. I got a small business too. And the odds are many people's like that ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna be a life coach. And I'm like this, like for real. I'm doing me.
Right. We got how the hell did you get in here? How did you get the link? I must got an old link somewhere. What's up, Nikki?
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, girl.
Nikki, baby.
Hey.
How the hell did you get? I ain't put the link up there. How'd you get back here? You snuck into. She said, "Who let her in the back door, man? We got to talk to security, man. God dang, how'd she get in here?
Oh, me?
Yeah, I ain't putting no link up.
Yes, it is. It's on your page, but the live broadcast isn't. I'd asked you.
Yeah, no, it's not on my page. It's through the T and Henny page. We got the whole separate page. I posted the link on my page, but I'm gonna go back and repost it now. But go ahead.
I didn't see it. I don't know. So, what is the topic? Are we still talking about understanding men?
Yes,
that's what.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
to bring her back in a couple minutes. I'm joking.
No, that's good. But go ahead, because I was great. Shift the gear a little bit. But what you got to say on that?
No, I definitely need to understand men, because men, you're talking about women. Men, y'all are. Oh, good Lord.
Ain't no men bashing going on here tonight.
No, I'm just wondering. It's like,
what is it you want? Ask a question.
Oh, Lord, a question.
Go ahead. You get one.
Just what's up with y'all? And okay, I think this was addressed before in one of the previous shows. What I don't know. What is up with men and not wanting to?
Because y'all won't let us.
I don't know. No, approach women. Well, why do y'all give up so easily?
Well, now go ahead. So
why do y'all give up so easily? And why do you not want to approach women? What happened to the men hunting? The men,
2020, men don't have to anymore.
No, see, no.
I'm
not talking about all women. It's not required.
So no, see, don't allow those few thirsty women to do that.
But you know what? I was going to ask you a question.
How does that? Wait. You said you doesn't allow us to. How do they stop your manhood and you being a man, and how does what they're doing
with that one word you just said out of your mouth, that one word you just said, one single word you said was thirsty. That one word.
Yeah. So I mean, men like that. You want to?
What it is we try to show chivalry. We try to show a little aggression. We try to show a little, little game or something. We thirsty. We come at you. We thirsty. We give you a compliment. We thirsty. You know what I mean? We pursue you. We thirsty. Who the hell wants to keep calling thirsty? That's very demeaning to us.
I'm
Nobody want to keep going through that.
I don't know. I'm talking about women, the thirsty women who are causing the men to sit back on their behind and not pursue the women. Because I think Derek just said something, we don't have to or something because of the women. So why let those women?
I'm just saying that's the way it rolls out here. You walk out here, you'll get. I don't know if other states use this word, but you'll get booked before you even try to approach. It'd be like, put your number in my phone. I'll be like, oh wait, I didn't get a chance to.
But with the advent of social media and all that's going on with it and things like this, the video chats and contacting people through Messenger or what have you, it's easy now. It's so much. The work is gone.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to make sure you had a pen on you daily, a pen and a piece of paper to write somebody's number down.
Yeah, can I get them digits?
So that's not now. And now this is no lie. When you meet somebody now, it's like, oh, what's your Facebook? Or what's your Instagram?
Yep.
That's what they're asking now. They ain't asking for numbers. They're asking and they slide in DMs. Yes, that's the new way of people.
Well, thank God none of them asked me.
It's a different world out here.
They asked me for my number. So I have some who did ask me for my number. I don't know. Maybe it's a generation thing. Who knows?
Yeah, but it's today's time is you don't need everything is at your fingertips.
I've never had someone ask me, what's your Facebook? What's your I've never asked me, what's your Instagram? What's your gram?
Me neither.
That's
we're
a little bit older, but under us, that's what's going on.
Yeah. It's like you know how people get mad when a guy texts you and you want him to talk on the phone, right? I'm not talking about our generation. I'm saying the text messages is the way people communicate. So now, if you say, I don't like texting, I want you talking on the phone. Well, everybody else in that generation, they're not on the phone. So they're doing what society dictates.
Okay,
people are followers by nature.
Okay, so how do we get the men to be the man like back in the day and not let the behavior of today dictate how they respond?
Feminism killed all that.
So
feminism killed all that. That's dead. Like you can forget about it.
It killed because we want to be strong. We want to let y'all know that we're strong.
There you go. Yeah, and y'all can be strong by yourselves. Like,
who is this, Brandon?
I gotta be weak. I gotta be weak. I gotta be sir. Damn near slavery. No. I don't know. I don't get approached like that.
Exactly. That shows you what kind of
like that.
Yeah, that shows you what kind of man they are if they are afraid to approach a woman who's confident and strong and got it going on. That says something about that man.
But
someone else's behavior shouldn't stop a man from being a man because he's
not going to keep pursuing you if you're throwing us the cold shoulder. What sense does that make?
Well, then maybe she's not the right person.
Okay.
And also, not interested if she's throwing you the cold shoulder.
Exactly. Okay. Men are hunters. So
what do you want me to do? Hunt, beat you over the head with a club?
No, come on. Hunt meaning you pursue the woman, you court the woman, you date the woman. You know, you don't take no for. I won't say like don't take no for an answer.
No, but that's what you're getting to. But and I'm telling you that who wants to keep hearing that from one person?
Why would a man? Why would a man pursue a woman when he can get on Tinder and be in the Best Western by the third text? Like, there's no, like, why you can't. I'm just saying, I'm being real. Right? Why you're talking about a man going back to a time
Best Western.
You're talking about a man going back to a time period that doesn't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what we have to do is adapt. One of the things that I say for myself is marriage isn't for me. Like, if you want a relationship now, you have to adapt to what's going on right now, or be by yourself.
Do you date?
I'm sorry?
Do you date?
Where's your real?
Man, I mean, like I said, so I do a little bit. I mean, I didn't know I had to answer you.
What?
You don't. I just want to know do you date?
No, I mean, like I said, I do a little bit. That's my answer.
Okay.
I mean, he answered the question. No, you can't get mad at that.
I don't know.
That's code language for I'm a male thought.
I'm just.
Why would being a male thought? Did somebody say twerk?
No. God. Oh my God.
I just don't understand. I don't. I don't understand.
Neither do I.
Maybe I live.
You was waiting for that link, wasn't you?
Maybe I live in my own bubble, in my own world. I don't know. I mean,
It's unfortunate that society has shifted to this way of thinking, and then those of us that are of a certain age, we're kind of like 1 foot in the past and we live in the future, and we want things to be the way they have been. And meanwhile, technology, social media, people's psychology of how they operate in life, like you can call Instacart now, right? You can do everything quick, right? So your mind wants news fast, you want food fast, you want groceries fast. Well, guess what? Your relationships are a part of how you do everything. So gradually, here comes Tinder. Here comes all these different apps where you can find. You don't even have to go on a profile and do all this, matching up. Now you can just swipe.
And that's a fast. And guess what? You're gonna get a fast way to a divorce.
That's whatever. You're probably right, but we come from an era where that wasn't the case. So we're like, what the hell are they doing? Meanwhile, the 25-year-old is like.
So do I have to adapt to this era? Because I don't.
No, exactly. No, Lexi and I not.
You ain't got to.
I'm going to move to another country that doesn't have that.
No, what you Lex.
The problem is that there are a lot of people, men and women, that are like 40, 50 years old that feel like they got to compete in today's market. So now you may be a traditional woman. This man is operating the way everybody else does, right? The 30-year-olds and the 25-year-olds, and you're like, what the hell? And he's like, well, this is everybody text. What's the problem? I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying this is how the psychology of it works.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, again, maybe I just live in my own world, but I'm not adapting to the bullshit. So again, Lex ain't settling. So if you say the way we have to communicate is through text, well, unfortunately, I don't mind texting when it's appropriate, but I don't communicate in text. I either pick up the phone or I sit down and have a conversation with you. And if that's not going to happen, then maybe we're just not meant to.
Thank you.
That's how we was raised. Unfortunately, it's 2020.
Let me say this.
Right.
I salute that. I salute that.
Let me say this.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, B.
All right, my bad. So, I mean, like I said, it's a choice. It's a choice. You either adapt, or like the young lady that called yesterday towards the end of the show with the monotone voice, right? You can call in and, or you can call, track his, the way she got her husband, right? She can stalk his employees. She can stalk the employees that he works with, and then basically, do the bait and switch where because what she said she had him doing laundry, cleaning up, and cooking. I'm like, come on, man. Like, so all you got to do is either hustle that way or adapt to what's going on.
But no, she didn't say she had him doing it. It was just, when they did get married, she was just saying, he likes to cook and do the laundry, whereas that's not her thing. So she'll take care of the kids and do etc. And that's what we're trying to differentiate duties and equalities. I don't think that's something she said you have to do.
Right.
So real quick, and damn it, where'd the comment go? I wanted to say this comment right here. This is single-handedly. Here we go. No one wants to date him. She's referring to Brandon in his comments, and ironically, this is the young lady he was just speaking about. But no one wants to date him, and he's mad about it. Laugh my ass off. These things right here are the exact reason why we don't open up, and we are the way we are. Because we show any signs of sensitivity or of any signs of openness, then something's wrong. Then we have a problem. We can't be. We're emasculated off the breaks with comments like this. So what else can we do? We go hard, or we go to somebody else that's easier. That ain't going to give us all this bullshit. You know what I mean? That ain't going to do this.
So this
is why there's a shortage.
I fall in the middle with a lot of this. With a lot of this here,
we can't be open no more, man. We can't be. And damn it, I won't be. I won't be. I'm a G in these streets, and that's how I'm gonna be. Go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry, love.
No, I'm falling in kind of not in the middle, but everyone is making valid points. Like I don't feel like anyone necessarily is wrong. Okay, I feel like everyone is making valid points. And just really quick, because I already me and Mike and already straightened this out. But you know, I'm not going to backtrack. That's the past. But Brandon, you made a comment about me saying I couldn't answer. I can't speak for him. I can't speak for anyone. Lex is a woman. I can't even speak for her what the benefits would be, because the benefits for her would be different than what the benefits of something would be for me. So I can't answer that on behalf of anyone. Okay. So let me just get that out of the way. And I've never ever said I was necessarily for a marriage anyway. So I'm not really sure where somehow it got misconstrued or misunderstood that I was just so strong about marriage and the belief in it. Okay, so just get that out the way.
Well,
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, I'm glad that you came, because when I was talking about with him was he asked you specifically last night. He didn't say what was the benefit of marriage from his perspective. He was asking you directly. What do you think, you as a young lady, what do you think as a man, right, is a benefit for a man? And you didn't answer that. And I think it's ironic. No. But okay. But women have so many opinions about what men should do. They feel that men should pay for the first date. They feel men should do all of these different things. How come? I think it's ironic you don't have an opinion about what you think the benefit should be to them.
But I've never said I think about like that's kind of a general statement, and you can't just throw me in a category and say that you can't just throw me in a category and say because people were saying a man should do this or a man should do that I automatically fall into that category. I don't speak for anyone. I can only speak for myself. Okay, I've been married. Okay, I am divorced. Okay, and I can't speak on the behalf of anyone of what a benefit of marriage would be for them because it's different. It's just different for anyone. I believe if you get married, it's for the right reasons and it's to the right person, then that's what's important. Yeah. If you're getting married and it's for the right reasons, whatever your right reasons may be, and it's to the right person, whatever makes them the right person for you, then that's the benefit of it for you. But I can't speak and say what the benefit of it to a man is because I can't speak on the behalf of a man. Just like I wouldn't ask you to tell me the benefit of what something would be to a woman because you're not a woman. You don't know what the benefit of something to a woman would be. So it wouldn't be a fair question for me to ask you to speak on the behalf of a woman.
I wanted to address Disco. You there?
Go ahead. I'm here.
Yeah, and everybody's quiet. Now I want to address your comment that you said before Michelle spoke. I hope that you don't allow, a few dozen women who have done whatever they did to you, and I don't know if you were joking, to make you stop being your true self. If you're sensitive, kind, and sweet, or whatever, and you meet a dozen women that, going to slam the door in your face, and that makes you bitter. You shouldn't allow that. So I hope you're joking, and people need to remain their true self. Be true to yourself. And if you're loving, sensitive, kind, then trust me, you'll find a woman who's going to appreciate that. Don't stop being, that way just because, a few dozen people or whatever the number is shut the door in your face or, made comments to make you feel, some kind of way. That's it. Disco.
All right. Let me okay. I want. Nikki, don't get in on Disco. He's going on. Whatever. But let's go down the street a little bit, man. Because I had a few questions that people wanted me to ask. So about men. So.
Oh yes, please.
Here we go. Why do a lot of men leave their kids? Why aren't they fathers? My answer to that is probably because a lot of these guys didn't have fathers at home. They didn't have fathers raising them.
Right.
Not all of them, but I don't know. I don't have kids to leave, so I don't know. No one in my family that I know of has a kid and left them and didn't take care of them. So I mean, I know some dudes that don't. But
so can I say something on that?
Yeah.
So when I was younger, my parents were together and they ended up when they were together, my dad took care of us, right? And then my mom and them broke up for, whatever reason. And they went their separate ways. My dad took care of us, or should I say, he came around when he did. It wasn't as much as he did when they were together, right?
Right.
So then, my mother would say, you got to put a little bit of effort. We're not together. But I was thinking to myself as I got older, was he around us because they were together? So mom moved us to the South, and my dad like disappeared. And I don't want to say he stopped dealing with us, because when we called, he would answer. When we needed something and we asked him, he would take care of it. So as I got older, in my mind, I felt, I dealt with a lot of things as a teenager, as a young adult. And in my mind, I'm like, daddy left us, or he didn't take care of us. I'm like, he left us, he abandoned us, right? So as I got older and I had a son, who father did abandon him, I went to my dad and I said, I felt that you left us as a kid. I felt that you did not fight for us, or in a way that, a lot of things could have been prevented if you were in our life. And I said, why did you leave us? So his answer was, well, babe, I didn't leave you. Your mother left me.
I was going to say that.
And I said, okay, my mother left us, but what does it have to, my mother left you, but what does it have to do with us? She didn't say, oh, you can't see your children or etc. He said that he felt because the relationship with mom was over, he kind of felt that the relationship with us was over, but he didn't understand, because that's how he was raised. His dad left his mom and there was no connection. So I say this to say, a lot of people feel that they have to be with their children. I mean, they have to be with their mate in order to see their kids. When no, you just gotta take another step to try a little harder to be in those children's life. My mother didn't settle, which I recommend her for. But I was mad at my dad for a long time because I felt that he left us. But he was like, that makes sense. He just didn't understand it. He didn't understand it. He felt that because they were no longer together, he didn't have children. He didn't, and that played a part in my life, because I started having abandonment issues. I'm like, my daddy left. And a lot of women out here, young, older, their dad left or not in their life, and they have abandonment issues. So if you don't address that,
right,
that can become a problem.
I agree with that. I've seen for some of the ones that I've seen that I did know personally that rolled out on their kids. It was an issue between them and the mother. They had a serious problem. They didn't want to be bothered with the mother. They didn't want anything to do with her, and then they disappeared. Sometimes though, as well, it's the mothers not letting the fathers be there.
Yeah,
go ahead, Coach.
Absolutely,
I get it.
But go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Disco.
No, I'm telling you. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying a lot of times what we don't realize, right, and I don't excuse bad behavior. A lot of times we don't realize that the training ground for who we become as adults starts when we're kids, right?
Absolutely.
And then that person grows up, maybe unknowingly starts imitating life, right? They got abandoned or their parents broke up, and now they're in a situation where they have to be a parent. And like I said, there's some assholes out here, right? But there's probably a percentage of men who get scared, or they do something like, well, I believe the woman is the person who's the primary, they're the ones who normally raise the kids. And if we beefing, then I got to be out and she gonna handle that. And and then what you're doing is you're creating a whole nother generation of people to become just like you. It's a cycle.
Right, exactly.
But I will say, okay, so I can't, I was mad at my dad for a long time, etc. And like I said, when we got older, I had a conversation. And for me, having that conversation and, he understanding how I felt, we became best friends. Like, again, I was around now, I was an adult and I was able to make my own decisions. Whereas, my siblings or a few of my siblings, they're like, he wasn't there for us and I hate him. you know, and it caused a strain because when he passed, my siblings were hurt even more because they didn't fix that relationship, you know.
Exactly.
So it's one thing
Mm-hmm.
to it's one thing to be upset when you're a kid, right? And mama may have all the decisions of, you know, my mom wasn't this person, but mom may say, well, you're not going to see your dad because he's not paying for child support. But now that you're an adult and you can make your own decisions, you can build that relationship with your parent.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, as a woman that, you know, me and my dad became best friends, and I lost my dad on Christmas in 2017. I'm so glad that I repaired that relationship with him, because I would be kicking my own ass right now with the should've, could've. Oh my God, I wish I had my dad, or I wish I could have had this conversation with him. So I say this, ladies or men, if you know your parents, there was an absentee parent, have that conversation with them. And if
Be
you
able
need a
to.
therapist to be, you know, that
Yes,
person,
absolutely.
do that, because when they are no longer on this earth, it's going to affect you.
And I want to chime in on that. And absolutely 1000% correct, Lexi, that I firmly believe that the problems in the relationships today can be traced back to our childhood, and whether or not we had both mother and father there and how they treated each other. We grew up seeing, you know, what we saw in our households. And so we are affected by that. So absolutely 100%. How we behave today in our relationships and just as individuals can be traced back to our childhood.
I think you should have this conversation with both parents too. Like Lexi, I'm glad that you reached out and that you asked those questions. But I think too, it's important a lot of times, especially when you have parents that separated when you were very young. Sometimes you never even ask the parent that you were with just what happened. And I think as an adult, even the parent, have the conversation with the parent that, you know, maybe wasn't there, but also just for the sake of the example, it was your dad. But even asking the parent that you're with, for the sake of an example, the mom, what happened? You know, and ask as an adult, because sometimes as a kid, you see things from a child's perspective,
right.
or your parents explain it to you at an age appropriate level, but you never get older and just really ask as an adult what happened. Woman to woman or woman to man, you know, what happened, you know? So I think it's important to have those conversations with both parents, the one that you were with primarily and the one that maybe there was that kind of estranged relationship.
You're at Michelle, you're right. But I didn't have to ask that question to my mom, because I know why she left. I saw it as a child. My dad was very abusive. He had a issue with drugs, but my mom never talked bad about my dad. When my mom is a barber. When my dad was on his deathbed, December the 23rd, my mother went to the hospital. Now, I always, I turned it to the parent. When my parents got older, I turned it to the parent, right? So I'm telling them what to do. But I told my dad when I put him in the hospital, and I said, you should have cut your hair. He's talking about, I'm about to be young. All the young girls like the dread, so I'm gonna grow my hair, right? So on December 23rd, my mother came up there and she said, Lamont, I come to cut you. Lex wants me to cut your hair because she don't want people to come see you looking like this when they come and see you for Christmas, right? My mom came up there and cut his hair, and he cried, and I knew why he cried, because my dad whipped my mother's behind for years, right? But he cried because in his heart, he's like, this woman forgave me. You know what I'm saying? She's up here cutting my hair. She's up here telling me I'm going to be okay. She's up here spending time with me. But my mom never talked bad about my dad. She always said, when we were together, your dad made sure you guys were good. He made sure the house was taken care of. He had his demons. He had his problems. So I say to these parents that may not be in a great relationship with their baby father or mother, Don't talk bad.
Man,
No.
it's a lot of that
That's
going
not-
on. Bro. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole rack of
Your
that.
That's true.
children,
It's a whole
your
rack of that.
kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna see
On
Yeah.
their own.
themselves.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my son see it. My son saw it, he's seen it, and he would tell his father, my mother never dogged you, because his father would always start out, well, I know your mother said. He was like, no, Pops, my mother never talked bad for anything. She was compensating in things to make me not feel a certain way. But my son asked him, my mother didn't talk bad about you, but why weren't you there? So as an adult, he
Yeah.
came and he stepped to him as a man.
Wow.
Hey, Nikki, I'm about to get you off, Nikki. I got another one trying to
Okay.
get in. All right,
Okay.
you've been on here longer,
Good.
so
Thank you, Nikki.
And can I say something in the meantime?
go ahead, B.
Yeah. So I mean, everything that everybody was saying is valid, right? I'm not saying that nobody didn't have any negative experiences or what have you. The thing that I want to talk on though is the fact that nobody ever talks about the negative choices that some of the women make, right? I know I pick on Sierra or what have you and Russell Wilson all the time, but the fact still remains, right? So Disco, I got a quick question for you,
What up, boss?
right? So yeah, can you hear me?
You fall asleep? Go ahead. You good?
Okay. So as far as with Sierra was concerned, right? You know, she had a child with Future, right? And so everybody says he's a deadbeat, right? And you know, everybody talks about, you know, oh, she, you know, found God or whatever she says she did, and you know, married Russell Simpson, right? And then, you know, but one of the things that we don't talk about is the fact that she had unprotected sex and was engaged to an individual that she saw she was baby mama number 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did she think was going to happen? And, you know, so this is what I'm talking about. We also need to talk about the decisions that some of these young ladies make by betting some of these individuals that they either do know or should know have no intentions of being around. So
Definitely Biscuit.
that's how I feel on that.
For real, Biscuit.
They think they're going to be the one that's going to change them, and when they know that
All the
he's not.
time, Michelle. That's
They
the
think
number
I'm
one
the
problem.
different one. I'm the
Yep.
different
Oh,
one.
I could change
I'm the one
him.
he's going to be different for.
I can fix that. I can change him.
Yep.
I see that all the time, man, and that's terrible. What's
I
up,
had a
V? Go ahead.
roommate.
What you got to say?
I had a roommate. She was like, "Oh, I'm the other woman." I was like, "Why are you like this? Like, what's wrong with you?" And she's like, "No, he gonna change for you." I said, "You really think like he has a whole woman? He's messing with you. You would think if y'all get together, he's not gonna mess with nobody else. Why are you like this? You dumb." But it's like another thing is like you have to address the issues that you may have had with other father figures in your life before you go to try to have a relationship with somebody else.
I agree.
At the end of the day, we're going to do a show on mental health, but it's really about mental health. It's about being raised in a culture and a society where we have like extremely low emotional intelligence. We don't even know how to react or even deal with certain moods and emotions. And we grow up in a society, especially as men, where being able to speak out and share is just like suck it the hell up. And then
Exactly.
when you
We can't be a
are
man no
faced
more.
with a decision emotionally, you're like, well, I'm going to fight. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make it right. But I don't know how to really communicate it or address it because I've never had the opportunity to do that.
Mhm.
Like I said before, I don't excuse bad behavior, but there's a lot of people out here. I would even say most of us don't even know how to react in certain situations. It's like on the job training. Like our parents aren't sitting us to the side like, okay, little Billy, when you feel like this is what it means. You grow up and you 25 and you like, damn, I want to say something, but
They
let me
hide
just
those
talk it out.
emotions. Sorry, I made that noise off.
Say it again.
I said they like try to hide emotions under the rug and everything.
And
They
it
send
comes
you
out at the
away.
wrong time. Yeah, it comes out. It gets bottled up, and it comes out at the most inopportune time. You know what I mean? And it's terrible. It's sad that it's that way. Candace says emotional intelligence is a skill that needs development.
Yeah. And most of us don't even gain that skill before we die.
Nope. And the ones that do gain it, we are adults. We don't, we don't get that when we're younger. It took me, I may come across as a strong person or strong-minded woman. I created me, my parents created the environment that I was in, created me. But I didn't start learning how to deal with a lot of things until I got older, and I had to sit and reflect. And I sat on a couple of sofas, and or sat on several phone calls with friends to say, hey, help me understand this, because maybe I'm not seeing it the way society or the statistics say I should. Help me understand certain things. So we don't develop it until we are older, if we do develop it. And I wouldn't say the older people are. For instance, my grandmother, I love my grandmother to death, but her views on certain things, I'm like, well, grandma, that's not how it works. They don't believe, in her time, if kids say they don't like something, that's talking back, right?
Right.
That's my grandma generation. But in my generation, I used to tell my son, let me know if you like this or not, so I can understand why you don't like it. It's not where you're going to do it anyway. It's let me know why you're not going to do it, or why you don't like it, so I can help you, so I can explain to you why we're doing it this way. But my grandmother seems that it's very disrespectful. You're going to do it my way or no way, and that's how she's always been. So it's just generations.
Let me switch these gears a little bit here, and I want to put this out there. Ladies, I'm about to give y'all a solid. Hopefully, more to the younger generation.
Listen, everybody record this.
I'm gonna give y'all a solid, man. I'm not a bad guy. I don't know why y'all thinking. Why you think I'm a bad guy, Lex?
Funny.
I got some sense sometimes. What are you talking about?
Coronavirus.
But look, if you dating a married man, or if you dating a man with a girl, or what have you, hey, if that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. But if that guy's telling you he's gonna leave his girl or his wife for you, he ain't, bro. Trust me, he's not. 9.5 times out of 10, he's not leaving, man. He's not leaving home for you. If you've been with him, I'm gonna say, give it. If y'all real tight or what have you, and give it 6 months, man. I hate to even say that, but if 6 months and then he ain't gone, and the law has changed in Maryland now for divorce. Y'all can do it the same day as long as it's a mutual agreement. You don't have to wait the year anymore. But if you're dating him and it's been 3, 4, 5 months and he keeps saying he's going to leave his wife, he ain't leaving her. Trust me.
Why would he be faithful to you though? After he left his wife, like why? Like why?
It could be. I'm not gonna say he can't. Yes, why not? But if he did leave his wife, and for you, he might be faithful. It might be a situation where he absolutely was getting ready to leave his wife. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying for the most part. Huh?
He's not unfaithful. Like if you act surprised when he's not unfaithful, be like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" Like, no, you stupid. Like,
I'm not gonna,
everybody saw it. Don't act surprised.
So okay, so let's go back to the stars then. What's damn, what's their name, man? Swiss Beats and what's her face who don't wear makeup anymore? Alicia Keys.
Oh my god. I'm gonna mute myself.
So you think he gonna bounce on that?
Bro, I'm tired of her and her no makeup having ass. Like for real. Like just be gone. Be gone.
You know what? I don't even know the whole story behind that. So
I think the relationship between him and Mashonda was already over. I don't think Alicia Keys broke that up.
I agree.
I don't care. I just think she needs to stop singing so loud.
That relationship with Mashonda and Swizz, I think they were already done.
They should have, but she should have. You know what? All right. I'm not. That's a whole nother show, man. Because Brandon, I'm gonna let you get that one.
Oh, Biscuit. What's
King
up, Biscuit?
King Biscuit.
No. You got to put the king up there.
Nah, I've been waiting for you, Biscuit.
Well, y'all better hurry up because we about to get off of here.
Yeah, I'm about to leave.
It's our time. We've been on here for what, an hour 16 minutes. I appreciate y'all. Good. The hell? Oh, damn. Everybody just rolled out. Damn. Okay. They gone now. I ain't even want to talk no more. Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. We it's been a long, fun evening. I thank you. Lex just rolled out, but she just
sorry.
Oh no, you weren't sorry. You just did that on purpose. Just like a female, just roll out and don't say nothing. Just take everything with you.
Say
Still my heart
bye.
and job.
Oh my
Can't
goodness.
even say bye.
What, Michelle? What?
I'm listening to you. I'm listening. Nothing.
So we're gonna do something different tonight before we leave, y'all. We're gonna let everybody have their little closing remarks. Derek, what you got to say? Coach?
Supposed to go last. Let's let Brandon go first.
Okay.
But
Well,
he been kicking the jewels.
okay. B.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
B.
All right. So, I mean, first of all, thank you all for a very intriguing evening. This was very enjoyable. I hope that I haven't seen the comments in the in the chat, but I'm going to review that, and I'm sure that it's quite interesting. My whole piece, when I was invited to this illustrious podcast, thank you very much, Disco.
Yes, sir.
It's the fact that, when you look at a man today, right? And, Lex made fun of the acronym for MGTOW, but, if you look at some of the content creators, some of those guys have YouTube channels with hundreds of millions of views, right? When you look at it, men are getting to the point where they're saying, okay, let me look at what the value of and not just relationships, the value of every interaction is, right? What do I want to do? It's basically men are getting on a self-actualization track, right? And that's probably the most exciting process of like looking at this society, right? When you're looking at everything that's happening with the pandemic, and you're thinking about all the different moves, like talking to some of my boys, some of the different business moves they're making, or what have you, and then it's a really exciting time to be, a man. I'm proud to be a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna back down from any weave wearing, card carrying member of the fourth wave feminism movement. But I'm a man. I'm all man. I'm proud of it. I'm King Biscuit. And like I said, we're gonna keep moving on as men. So that's my piece.
My man. Michelle, you still here? What you got to say?
I'm
something.
still here. So
you're one of our honorary co-hosts, so go ahead.
I try not to jump on here.
It's okay. We appreciate you.
Because I want to leave space, but just I appreciate you all. I thank you for having me on. And Brandon, I just want to say it was actually very nice to hear your voice. We haven't seen your face, but it was actually, and I mean that. I'm not trying to be funny or whatever. This is genuine. It was very nice to hear your voice. And to actually speak with you this evening after all of the interactions here. But just very simply, my point is one of the words in your title, just understand it. And I always say this, you're never going to fully understand. I don't think men are ever going to fully understand women. I don't think women are going to ever fully understand men, but just the effort to try to understand and to be open and to realize, we're different and to appreciate those differences. And Derek can tell you, Derek was on my live this morning before I even, earlier, not this morning, before I even knew what the title of this was. I said, I love our men and I appreciate y'all. And I said, as women, we need to sometimes just tell y'all that, just out of nowhere, that we appreciate you. I said that on my thing before I even knew what this was about. So I don't want you to think I'm just saying it.
Oh, no, I know you.
He can tell you.
Yep.
So I just want to end out by saying I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And y'all need to hear it more often.
Well, thank you, love. We appreciate. God damn it,
Thank you.
Lex, you better follow up with something that.
No,
I
totally agree. I think our black men get a really hard. Y'all guys get it rough. I mean, we as women do. And if you want to look at the statistics on one of the worst treated creatures, but anyway. I was being sarcastic, Brandon. Don't. You said your piece.
You got it. All right.
But no, you guys I commend you, especially the ones that are grinding it out for their families, the ones that are grinding it out for their kids and getting such a hard time. Like, wrong is wrong, right is right. And I'm never gonna agree with any female that dogs a man, and especially a man that's doing what he's supposed to do. So I commend you all. I do. And I do love you all. I love our men, our black men especially.
Thank you. Coach?
Yes, sir. Well, in short, I'm gonna just say this. We have to really make a conscious effort, men and women alike. And when we talk, the show is about understanding men, but it's really a lesson in how we choose to communicate with each other without judgment or assumption up front, right? Because we can talk about, as Brandon says, about statistics, and we share a lot of like experiences, right? We grow up in similar neighborhoods, we get educated similarly, and so there's a lot of traits that are common amongst most men. But there's also a lot of differences because we grow up in different types of households and different experiences. And so if you make an assumption about a man and or a woman without experiencing that man or a woman, that's not really a fair assessment. We can talk about, well, most women are like this, so I'm not going to choose any. Then you miss out on a lot of greatness. That's just, to me, that's a life lesson. Like we got to spend time getting connected to each other and understanding each other and wanting to understand. And I think some of those statistics start to shift once we actually listen instead of judging. So that's all I got to say.
My man. How the hell am I supposed to follow that up? God damn. All I'm gonna say is, man, first of all, I appreciate all of you guys on the panel. I appreciate all of you guys in the comments watching. Even for those that didn't comment, we appreciate you as well just for being here. We're going to come back and keep doing this for you as long as we possibly can. We hope to take this movement as far as possible. But in reference to tonight, I want to say, man, just love yourself, ladies. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself. Learn your worth. Realize who you are. Only then can a man appreciate you and understand you and respect you and care for you the way you think you deserve to be cared for. It can't be done until then. We're complicated creatures. We are. I know that. We have pride and ego sometimes, but take the time to love us as well. You know what I mean? Peace. That's all we want, man. Real loud. That's all we want is some peace. Be our peace, and we're gonna give you a peace. Hey, it's as simple as that.
Only you.
Only me. And learn how to do this. I had to do it one time. I ain't get a chance to play. I ain't had one chance to get it in. Damn it. Hey, T and Henny show. We coming back tomorrow. I don't know if everybody was gonna be with me, but I'm gonna be here tomorrow night. Goddamn, we got a lot to talk about.
Y'all exhausted me. I don't know. I need a break.
You need take a break.
Coach, just put me on the bench, Coach.
Take a break. We're gonna get somebody else in. Brandon gonna be back and take your place. How about that?
Yes, sir.
No, Brandon don't represent me. No.
Oh, shit. Who gonna represent you then?
Me.
But you just said you're tired. You're tired. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get Mike Smith up in here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get Mike Smith up in here. That's what I'm gonna do. How about that?
Drop that link, Michael Smith.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm calling you out, player. I'm getting him up in this joint. We're gonna see how that flow in. It's gonna be me, Mike, Brandon, and Dirk. Michelle, I'm banning you for the day.
Nah. Look, I'll call in, comments, whatever.
Hey, y'all be easy. Good night.
Bye, guys.